you don't feel too good about your life, don't feel too good about who you are if you harm yourself with drugs. So a family is the strongest foundation, strongest structure. If I believe you come from a strong foundation with love, understanding, consideration, you have a high self-esteem, you don't have the need to self-medicate. That's what I believe.
No, and you're right, because all that is hiding from something and just hiding and repressing things, and we do that with so many things. I mean, there used to be. I remember when you would have a relative or something, and they would come home at the end of the day, and they would have a little glass of brandy or something, just a sip before they went to bed, and they considered that, may have a problem. Well, that's considered potentially a problem. But now I see people get boxes of wine trucked in from Delaware, like wine's going to be illegal tomorrow. I see television shows that have wine clubs associated with them. I'm like, what's a wine club?
Yeah, that's true.
And it's just we rename things and to trick them back into acceptance.
But a lot of people have a lot of pain, and not only do we self-medicate with alcohol and drugs, we can self-medicate with food and sex and those kind of things.
I've got a buddy, and he never listens to the show, so I can say this. One day he's going to listen to all these shows and find all the references I've hidden in there, all the Easter eggs about him. But he does what you said. He medicates, and I know a lot of people. I can do that. You have the term comfort food, and there's a reason that term exists. But you can't get too comfortable with it, because another old friend, and old friends can hurt you more than anybody because they cut to the chase. And she hadn't seen him in a while, and he had put on some weight. And she had saw a picture of him, and she said something to the effect of, oh, I see Operation Eat Your Emotions is going well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes. Yeah, well, they say it's not what you're eating, it's what's eating you.
Yeah. And it's really easy to sit down when you're in a dark place or something and just take it out on a bag of cookies.
True.
It's real easy. It's real easy. And you're so right about that. And that's I mean, heart disease, cancer, and everything. These things are hurting people as much as substance abuse, but it's more acceptable, more palatable. Alcoholism and other things.
Yes.
This substance abuse is just the new shiny thing at the top of the pyramid, But
people do it with work. They self-medicate with work, even.
Yeah. But at least you're getting something done.
Yeah, that's true.
At least you're getting something done. I mean, if somebody,
but it's not so good on relationships. But
that's true. I mean, well, if we want to talk about things that mess up relationships, that's a whole other show. But
it would be.
If somebody wants to self-medicate by being, the best landscaper that there is, and just kick, butt on doing the job, that's different.
Oh, I'm not talking about quality.
Yeah, you're talking about quantity.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, some people use work to hide from their own problems.
Yeah.
And that's very true too. You go out and talk about the 26 items in your book to places. You said you like to go to schools and churches.
And the groups of parents, and do presentations and workshops. I love doing that.
And people can contact you at the email address to turnaroundparentingtips.com.
They may contact me at 215-840-5544. That's 215-840-5544.
And you'll pretty much, your presentation, you'll go within reason. You don't want to travel real far.
I've gone to Jersey. I've gone to various places of the suburbs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'll travel.
Okay. Because I think it's an important message that there's a lot of parents. I won't even just say young parents, but I see some young parents, and of course, parents appear to be younger when you get older. When you get older, everything seems to be younger.
That's true.
You know, but I see people that are, I see grandparents that I don't think should even be parents because they're too young, you know. But there's no foundation, and this book is all about the right foundation. You know, do the work, put in the work early, or else you're going to put it in late, and that's.
I believe that
you're not going to avoid putting it in.
Mm-hmm. You're going to pay one way or the other.
You're going to pay one way or other, and it's just like if you buy a new house, it's better to paint it and do the floors and everything before you move a speck of furniture in there, because once you move in there, you're not going to feel like doing anything. That's
right. It's by being proactive.
Anything else you wanted to cover? I saw you jotted down some notes.
Well, you know, I jotted down that we're needs-based people. And, you know, we have a myth going on in some communities that you should not satisfy all of your children's needs, and that it really is a myth. Not picking your child up every time they cry, not comforting them when they need it. And I don't know where that came from, because even as adults, when we need comforting or when we're fearful of something, we want somebody there to give us a hand or to soothe us and, you know, pacify us in some way. And so, you know, some parents don't realize to become self-actualized as individuals, to be able to be outward-centered, to care about other people, to be able to maintain relationships, and to be able to love yourself and love other people, to have a high self-esteem, to be able to be optimistic about the future. It's basic. We have some basic needs that have to be satisfied in order to go to the next level. This is Maslow's hierarchy. And having our needs, basic needs in terms of food, clothing, and shelter satisfied. If that is not satisfied, we will never be able to feel safe and develop trust. We won't be able to feel love. Therefore, you know, self-esteem will not be developed, and therefore will be self-actualized, and those attributes that I mentioned earlier. So it's important to satisfy your children's needs. I would wonder why my students, a lot of them were just angry. I said, what are they angry about? They're not paying any bills. Everybody, you know, somebody's taking care of them. To realize that their needs were not satisfied, that they were angry, that they were not being seen, heard, and validated. And it's important to do that with your children at a young age. So parenting is the most important job there is on this earth. Your influence is the biggest influence over your children. Don't take it for granted, and make sure that your children's needs are satisfied with food, clothing, and shelter, that when they are afraid, that you pick them up, that you comfort them, that you cuddle them, and that is not spoiling them. You can't spoil a child before the age of 2 years old anyway. So all of those things should be done with your children before they enter the world. And if they enter the world with a positive core belief system about who they are, bullying is less effective. They are less affected by bullying because they know who they are. So parents, don't be afraid to spoil your children before the age of 2. Give them what they need, and it will pay off.
Well, you know, it's funny because I was thinking about what you were saying when you're saying it, and I had a debate with somebody the other day about they're going through a rough patch, husband and wife, and the husband appears to me to be one of these people that shouldn't have had children. He's not ready for it. Mm-hmm. He just wasn't. He doesn't do anything to help. And I got in a little trouble because I shot my mouth off like I usually do. I got no filter after, like, when I'm tired. So, and she said, well, he's their father. I said, no, he's a donor. He's done none of the work of a father. Different things. You know, if you want to wear the badge, do the job. You know, there's a difference. And that may go with or against some of the stuff you say, but I think there's too many people out there that are donors, not fathers.
Yes,
You know,
because like maybe that's what they had as an example, as a model, was, as you say, a donor, and this is what they know. A lot of people don't know how to be parents.
Right. Well, and that's one of the good things about the book, is because I don't hold it against somebody who doesn't know something, but once they give an opportunity to know a different way and learn a different way, like the book teaches you, and they don't avail themselves to it, that I have a little bit of a problem with. Because if you don't know this, I mean, this should be taught in parenting classes, and parenting classes should be part of having a child. It's more than just natural childbirth and Lamaze and stuff like that. It's getting ready to there are people that will spend hundreds, even thousands of dollars if they're going to buy a new puppy, going to classes with the dog, about how to raise the dog, how to deal with the dog. That would just go have a child and believe that divine intervention shall provide them with all the wisdom they need. It doesn't work like that.
Yes. We don't get it through osmosis, that's for sure.
No, not at all.
And then when information is presented to some people, they're loyal to their upbringing and their background. It's difficult to change. It's uncomfortable to change sometimes. So, it really takes some courage to depart from what was done and given to you.
Yeah, change is difficult. As you get older, it becomes more and more difficult. But at least I know I've hit the other side of the Rubicon, where I will change. I will change if I need to, whatever works to be better. But it's still not easy for me, but it's gotten less difficult. I had to change, stupid things. I had to change barbers recently. Not that my barber has a whole lot of work, but I went to the barber shop and they said that my barber had passed away, and the other barber went out of business. And so I drove my normal route, and I saw a barber shop, and I went in and asked the guy, "What's your name?" He said, "Gus." He said, "Gus, you're my new barber." I said, "You smoke or anything?" I said, "Because I'm looking to get some years out of this. I'm tired of this change. You're young. I decided to go for a young barber because I want you to put me in the ground. I don't want to change again." So you do get rigid, and we do get comfortable. And there's nothing wrong with that, but just don't get comfortable with the wrong things and the wrong behaviors. And I think that's where that laziness comes in. Change and habit can foster, lack of change can create habit, which can foster laziness, and can hold us back.
Yes, indeed. A story struck me. I was trying to think of the minister's name, and he told the story about growing up, how his father would close himself off in a room and only drink alcohol. Wouldn't interact with him, never went to a sports event with him. And he confronted his father one day because he was angry, and he said, "You haven't done this for me. You haven't done that for me. And I'm really angry with you." And his father said to him, "Well, at least I put food on the table for you. My father didn't even do that." So he was coming out of a model where he thought he was doing better by his children because at least he was feeding them.
Well, he had bumped it up a notch, but sometimes it's so low
that
notch isn't enough. And I know lots of people that story could apply to. He was doing better. He was, by his definition, he was doing better, but it still wasn't enough.
He didn't know better. He didn't know any better.
I'm going to read more of the book, although I do not intend to have children. I do interact with other people's children reluctantly. I typically just give my. I'm used more as a threat for my godchildren when their parents don't get it. When they say, "We could have him come talk to you, and it's going to be much worse than anything we declare." I think that would be a great business that you could be for these people that don't want to be direct with their children. You could just have. Like the rental parent that comes in and just, the vice principal of parenting.
Oh, there used to be a show where, and I can't think of the name of the show, but where they would have this parenting expert come in and observe and